Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here going to be taking out the Montezuma. We are running the water carts again. Turned around and had added that next industry in the farm chain there, or the cattle farm. So we are going to be taking advantage of that and using the same water cars, obviously, that we were using for the wheat farm, and we're going to capitalize and just get as much money out of those as we possibly can. Well, we can get close to our next locomotive, so that is what we are in the process of building some money up for. We do need the Tier 3 cars coming up here to advance over the farm chain as well, so we need to pick up that stack and probably another loco. Although we probably will leave Montezuma for running around the farm stuff, so that can kind of cycle through and, if nothing else, make money running to the depot until we get further over into the meat stuff. Chilling out just a little bit. And we'll cruise around here. Backside of the roundhouse. Oop. Didn't need a more brake. Need a little more gas. We can get this moving here now. Everything on this side a little bit smoother. Lets us get to running out of the yard. Backside of some of the buildings there. Need to add another building down here just to keep things getting built up. Everything auto switches as we come out of the yard. Keeps things nice and easy. And throttle that up. And let it run. Not a big train, but she is already loaded up, so we will turn around and just try to get it up the hill. We already know that that takes about as much effort as Montezuma has, so not adding a heck of a lot there. Be interesting to see how this is going to deal with the tier 3 cars, or if we're going to have to pick up the logo just to run them. I think we'll be fine, because if we coming up, hill stuff, at least at this point for the farm stuff, they won't have to really run up the hill full. They'll come out of here empty, so should be all good, no worries. Alright, get that down to around 80%, see if we can pick up a little bit of speed on the climb here. Seems like 80 with Montezuma on this gives us about as much as we can get, or right around the 80 mark. Anyway, go up to 84. I don't think we're really going to get anything more out of it. Just going to be steady in the pole. So that seems to be working until we hit the little steeper section. Then we kind of have to give it all the reverser it can get. Whoa, feeling that back. Great looking little train. Just not a beast. But it does go great with the Craig Company cars, I have to say. I mean, it's just sized out really well. So if you don't mind running the Craig Company cars for smaller stuff, the smaller locals will get the job done, that's for sure. Get you started anyway. It's nice to have options. Back in the day when we started, we were running just Betsy. I do have to say I like Montezuma quite a bit more than Betsy. Betsy's nice for in like yards and logging stuff, but it always seemed kind of weird trying to run open track with it. So I prefer Montezuma for that kind of stuff, but everybody obviously has their preferences in there. Both locos work great. Betsy, especially back in the day, was the biggest beast in the game. It was kind of funny. If you go back far enough, you remember Betsy could pull everything pretty much unrestricted. No worries at all. There we go. That is about the steepest section right there on that little bridge, though we do get another little hiccup up here, so we're not going to take it out of full driving mode yet. We're just going to let it climb. Keep it going. So we can get a little bit ahead here on the map, and we'll flip that switch. This is going to put us, we just want to run down the middle rail. Still haven't done anything with that inside rail, so we definitely don't want to get on that. And then this, we don't need to really worry about because we're not going to be on it. So, there we go. Put that back that way. And once we get by this tree, we are going to start kicking it back up, which we will do. Start climbing, or stop climbing. Once we hit that, that pretty much gets us up the hill climb there and puts us onto the flat terrain. Nice, we kind of just got lucky with some markers there. As things break that tree, it's just kind of like the go line. You can mash it from there. Nice thing, once you start running on rails, you know, get used to what you got to do where, you know, kind of when to mash it, when to lay off, or you start picking up little things. Makes the runs a lot easier, a lot faster. This run on the return trip is insane fast, because once you hit that hill, you can really roll down the hill 30, 40 miles an hour, no problem. It's all just about riding on your brake when you need to. We did turn around and get the wheat farm filled up with water, so that did turn around and fill up the wheat and the hay, or, you know, wheat and straw, however you want to look at it. Wheat and straw, not wheat and hay, wheat and straw. So we got that filled up, and we can definitely push that down the rail, which will give us some more money into XP, quite frankly, which we are, I think, tier 3 now. So moving along decent, which will at least give us a decent loco coming up. Now it's just about putting in a little more work, getting some money built up for that. So we have the stacks of cars and we have the loco there, and that'll head us off into the heavier hauling sections of the game decently. And I do think we'll plan on keeping this one around just to be running alternative loads in the farm area. Not a bad place for when you don't need necessarily everybody on the same loco or something, or you want more than one loco making a little bit of money. It'd be nice for that. So keeping it around for sure. A little bit on the pull, you can hear it there. We'll slide up the power. First time something's actually been down this rail. We did build it in the last episode, but nothing's been down it yet. So this is a new rail test out here. Don't anticipate any problems, but one never knows. Wouldn't call them ninja trees if we always got them all. That's for sure. They will sneak up on you and get you. Go, heading up on the wall. Smooth transition there, nothing much to it. Kind of happy that we went with the wall here instead of the bridge. Bridge looks just somewhat out of place when it's that low to me, I guess. Or the wall there, you know, if you get too high with the wall, it's the other way around. It looks really out of place. I do know that's always been a thing. You know, one of the big fans of the channel is always talking about how we need more options for like different kinds of walls and cribbing and things like that, just to make things look different in different areas and especially on different maps. So that one's definitely wanted by people. I'm sure one day we will get those in. A lot to come, I'm sure, as we now get close to the official release of the game. Looking forward to what's going to change there, how everything's going to set in, and what's to come going forward. I know these are all things everybody's looking forward to finding out more about. I am as well. So we'll take a peek at the money there. $3,300. Obviously making a little bit of money moving over the water. We can fill up the seeds back down there too. So making a little bit. Did not need to get out of the loco, although I did want to check the money, but we do not need to unload in that fashion anymore. I still do get out and unload a lot, though when you're in a hurry and trying to run multiple loads, the ability to move the camera has been just insanely awesome. Alright, let's see if we were getting that in there. Alright, next guy. We're just gonna let it stop there. We're gonna assume that's okay. Oops. If we're on this side, it'll be like that way. That'll be more proper. Even though it all got in there, so hey, whatever. More props to the game. It hooks up the hose, and even if you dump it on this side, it still went into the bucket. So that was all me, but good on the game because it fixed the problem. So there is that, and then I think obviously we'll probably just head this bad boy out and run her back down, make sure everything's working all the way around. This is our tightest track on the layout so far. We know that, so we are not going to go flying through here. Just going to take it nice and easy. Don't anticipate having a problem with Montezuma. It'd more be the water cars that I would worry about. But where the Craig cars, I don't anticipate a heck of a lot of problems with much in here, even though it is tight. All working just fine. We'll have to see what happens when we pull the tier 3 cars through here, because usually I would not want to buy separate cars just for the farm for tier 3, so we'll want to use those for cordwood as well. Back up, cow. Good thing this one is the cow catcher on the front. It's great loco for running to the farm. There we go. Wood and water just in case, which we are still doing okay, though that brings us to, we could throw some wood in the old boiler there, or firebox. Probably not put wood in the boiler, it wouldn't do a lot of good, but it will do us some good in the firebox. So there we go. Alright, wham. We'll go for some speed and see how this is going to go on the way back down the hill. Not a horrible little journey so far. I always did enjoy this part of the game where it just feels like you're on that small little narrow gauge railroad, doing your little railroading thing, you know. Yeah, the later game is fun when you have 20 or 30 cars behind you, or trying to pull 100 cars, or whatever the case may be, obviously, but I did always like the feel of the early game when it's the small little trains and you're just trying to make things work, get by best you can. It's a nice feel for a narrow gauge American railroad. Blasting through this part. We should probably chill out because we got a lot of switches in here, and over 30 miles an hour switches or janky stuff can cause you a problem. I find that you're generally safe if you're doing 20 or below. You can get through most things anyway, where if you're doing 30 and you get a little anything, so let's be honest, we couldn't even do 30 miles an hour for a long time in the game, unless you were going downhill, and you were always ready to derail at 30 miles an hour in the old game. So, no doubt about that. But with the pickup of speed of locomotives and stuff like that, we get away with pulling off a lot more speed than we used to. Whether that's on flat ground or it's downhill, it doesn't really matter. We get away with a lot more speed nowadays. And the rails were much, much smoother too. Back in the day when we were running little chunks, you know, what was it, 20 or 25 meter sections or something like that. That was much harder to have smooth rail. I'll say that. This part's really down nice, embedded. Really like the look of that. Came out nice. So far between, you know, auto laying and precise mode, we've managed to keep most of the rail decently natural looking, I guess is how I would call it. This stuff I like when it plays like this. Hard to keep it like that all the time, huh? Here is where we will start going crazy. Heads up. All crew, strap on your safety belts. If we lose it, this is gonna be bad for most people on board. Good thing we're not hauling many. Today's solo run. Kamikaze driving. Moving along the rail. You do get a little bop in the cars here and there, but we are still hauling the mail, even with the brake out. I mean, we're doing 30 miles an hour. Well, people always ask, like, what's the top speed of the locomotive? And I guess it's like, depends on how steep a hill you're rolling down. Or something. And you're never going to hit, you know, you're always going to be faster downhill than the loco is going to go anyway, so. You know, how fast can it stay on the track? I guess it depends on how straight your rail is and how decent it runs. Obviously, things start getting a little kitey at, you know, once you get around the 40 mile an hour mark, you start getting into, you know, really, who knows, you're in the danger zone, to put it the easy way. So as we approach the switch here, we will try to bring her down to 20. Just so we don't have any derail issues. I do know, like, if you're running down the main so you're not switching off the rail, you can probably get away with going 30-ish. If you're doing, you know, 30 when you switch rails sometimes, that'll definitely, you know, that could cause you a problem. No doubt about it. Alright, so that gets our water in there. We will have several more of these runs to do, so I think we will just probably take her around the loop there. Let it coast. Back home, clear the yard. Hopefully this lays out for enough tracks. We could always go a couple off the other side if we had to. Maybe even duplicate this whole setup. We could put another roundhouse and stuff on the other side. If it comes to that, we do have plenty of room in here to do quite a bit. This part of the map, really, I'm always like, I just feel like it's so underused that I like to put something down here for sure, because it's huge, it's flat, it's great for building. It's like a, you know, you're not going to run into many issues down here. Be nice for the day when we can turn around and have some sort of tree that's a prop that we could plant, you know, some things in here, however we would want. That's one I look forward to sometime. Just having vegetation props of some sort. Rocks, things like that. That'd be cool if we had some natural type props, so we could set our scenes, if you will. They had a good access to the water table underneath. That's why they built the train yard down here. That's the story anyway. There we go. So we will definitely be running a few more of these loads to get that moving along and get the industry up. Like I said, it is about stockpiling some money and XP at this point. Being level 3, you know, try to get to level 5, level 7, somewhere in that neighborhood. Obviously, a lot of options open up at that point, but we are going to call that one a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free. They sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.